police breaking for another night of chaos. But first, we need to step back. We need to remember what these riots are all about. Now, first, we had Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and, of course, Alejandro Mayorkas and every Democrat telling us the border is closed, the border is secure. They lied to us for 4 years. Anywhere between 12 and 20 million unvetted illegals, including known terrorists. We have Iranian assassination squads in the country. We have cartel members. We have gang members. We have murderers. We have rapists. We have other violent criminals. Started there. Then, of course, ICE, in this case, is doing the job of getting rid of these people that Joe and Kamala and others allowed in the country. And, of course, the safe haven created by cities and states like California, cities like Los Angeles. And ICE conducted an operation in Los Angeles, arresting, quote, the worst of the worst illegal alien criminals there. In other words, far-left idiots are now taking to the streets, waving foreign flags, looting stores, burning cars in support of, let's see, murderers, rapists, gang members. Remember, this is the party of Abrego Garcia. So tonight, why don't we introduce you, this was on FoxNews.com, to some of the other criminal illegal aliens that the left is so desperate to keep in your country, that Gavin is fighting for, Karen Bass is fighting for. First up, Jose Ortiz from Ecuador, previously sentenced to 11 years in prison after getting caught with 11 kilos of cocaine. That's close to $500,000 worth of cocaine. Next up is Armando Ordaz, who is a suspected gang member from Mexico. Now, Armando is a convicted sex offender and a thief. Then, of course, there's Victor Mendoza Aguilar from Mexico, who previously was deported in 2017. This suspected gang member served time for drug charges and deadly assault with a deadly weapon, among other crimes. And here is Delfino Aguilar Martinez from Mexico. He was convicted of assault with a deadly weapon with great bodily injury. Next up is Eswin Ariel Castro, who was also previously deported. Castro has convictions for child molestation, has also been arrested for robbery, domestic violence. And look at your screen. This is Lionel Sanchez Laguna. His crimes include battery to a spouse, cruelty to a child, shooting into a house, assault with a firearm, and a DUI on top of that. We could go on and on. I have pages and pages and pages of people that they are arresting, including a convicted murderer from Vietnam and a guy from the Philippines convicted of an unspeakable sexual assault. But just so we are clear, this is who the anti-ICE protesters are fighting for. These are the people that Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass are protecting. These are the people that would still be on the streets of Los Angeles if their mayor, if their governor had their way. They were all protected, every one of them, under L.A. and California's insane sanctuary city and state policies. Governor Gavin Newsom, who we expect will be speaking in this hour, he has been protecting these criminals for years, never once lifted a finger to protect the law-abiding citizens in his state, with sanctuary state laws that now Newsom now supports. Get this, police in California, they are not allowed to even ask criminals for their immigration status. State law enforcement officials are barred from working with ICE even to apprehend violent convicted offenders. They can't even hand them over to ICE. My question for Governor Newsom, and I have a lot of them, and we'll put them up maybe in the course of the show tonight, was it worth it? Are you proud of putting innocent Americans in danger by creating a sanctuary for criminal illegal aliens? I'll put up, I'm going to scroll here, the names of victims in California of violent crime. And while we get that up and running, think about this. You know, we scrolled during the 2024 campaign, all the names of people that were murdered and all the people that were raped and all the people that were victims of violent crime because of the open borders that they were lying about, because they said the border's closed, the border's secure. None of that was true. We have the same thing out in the state of California. And my question, we know that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris never picked up a phone. They never called the victims. They never called Laken Riley's family, Rachel Morin's family, Jocelyn Nungary's family. Did Gavin Newsom ever call the victims' families in California? Now, probably won't answer that question, although we you know, he did take a lot of time to respond and fight with me on X during the height of the riot, and also Mark Wayne Mullen also took time to do multiple interviews on friendly left-wing legacy media mob networks like MSDNC. He even, in the middle of all this, had time to do podcasts just so he could trash Donald Trump while pretending to be a martyr, almost begging to be arrested. It is, as usual, pathetic. He's putting his own blind political ambition over the safety of law enforcement and the safety of the law-abiding citizens of Los Angeles and in his own state. Instead of conducting himself like a leader when his state needed him the most, Gavin Newsom was trying to use the riots for political gain. In fact, one California sheriff is telling Newsom, put the phone down, be quiet, because he, quote, is doing nothing but fueling this process. Remember, during the Pacific Palisades fires, he claimed no responsibility. Remember, they had fire hydrants. They were empty. They had reservoirs. They were empty, too. And then his answer was, well, it's not my fault. You need to ask the local elected officials. I'm on the phone right now, ma'am, talking to Joe Biden. He wasn't talking to Joe Biden. Well, I'm going to talk to Joe Biden. But it's not just Gavin Newsom. The response of almost every top Democrat has been totally bizarre, completely dishonest. I mean, you have Kamala Harris, you have Adam Schiff, you have Cory Booker. You've got all the predictable actors. Now we can add Hillary Clinton to the list. Maxine Waters claiming there's no violence, none at all, in Los Angeles. Don't believe what your eyes are showing you. Take a look.
The protests, and even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Get it in your head. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know.
Oh, I went to a couple of streets, and I know, never mind what's on TV, never mind the videos. Oh, let's see, we've got plenty of that we're going to be showing you throughout the night. Really, Maxine? No violence? All of this peaceful? No, we could show pictures. Oh, that's right, look at that, car's on fire. That looks like violence taking place there. Oh, another car on fire. Looks like more violence taking place there. Never mind the fact that law enforcement agents, they were being attacked. They were being hit with bricks and mysterious liquids, and baseball bats were placed. And the rioters just conveniently all had gas masks and frozen water bottles. Anyway, and her colleague out there, Nancy Pelosi, said that lighting cars on fire, really not a big deal. The rioters just got caught up in the exuberance of the moment. Is this how you act when you're exuberant? Take a look.
And I say this as a former party chair, when there is a gathering, a large gathering of people, the anarchists see it as an opportunity and they move in. So always have to be careful whether you see a burned car, a broken window, or whatever it is. It may be the exuberance of the moment, but it may be the anarchist setting in.
Wait a minute. I have a question. That horrible attack against her husband, and it was horrible. Was that somebody being exuberant? I'm feeling exuberant. Let me attack somebody. I'm feeling exuberant. Let me attack cops. I'm feeling exuberant. Let me burn some cars. What a genius. And let's not forget about California's junior senator, the congenital liar Adam Schiff. Yesterday, he filmed himself praising the peaceful nature of the riots. Just pause for a second. You know, in the summer of 2020, the media, Democrats also said they're peaceful. They're mostly peaceful. 24 Americans died, thousands of cops injured, billions in property damage. Kamala said they won't stop, shouldn't stop, and she wouldn't stop supporting them. Remember that? But they cared about only one riot, not the 574 riots. Oh, the border's closed. What are you talking about? Millions of people are walking across it, but it's closed. Joe Biden is cognitively as sharp as he's ever been. It's hard to keep up with him. These people lie all the time. They do all of this while blaming Trump for the riots. You know, not their own sanctuary city and state policies. Take a look.
Things are peaceful here in Los Angeles. I hope and pray that they stay that way. The folks who are being impacted by these immigration sweeps do not want violence done in their name. So outside people, agitators, whoever, just stay the hell out. And as for the President of the United States, commandeering the guard over the opposition of the governor was a pointless and incendiary action. It has made matters worse. And now mobilization of the Marines, also just inflammatory and unnecessary. So do your job and stop making matters worse in Los Angeles.
This is why we call him the congenital liar. You have a party of liars and lunatics. I can't emphasize that enough. These Democrats now speaking out in favor of violent riots taking place in Los Angeles in response to ICE apprehending the worst of the worst illegal immigrants convicted of murder and rape, child molestation in the face of anarchy and crime. And it's no wonder Americans are overwhelmingly supporting Donald Trump's immigration policies. Even fake news CNN pointed this out. It's especially true of illegal immigrants. Take a look.
Immigrant voters, foreign-born voters, have gone tremendously to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020. Closest to or trust more in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right among immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats.
Now, look at that, a 40-point shift. And by the way, mostly among immigrants, mostly among minorities. They want safety and security in their own homes. They want the law to be followed. They don't want anarchy. And by the way, we'll get to this later with Matt Towery. He has a poll out. 59 to 39 Americans support Donald Trump sending the Guard to Los Angeles to help out with the mess there in that sanctuary city and state. Democrats have lost the plot. Under Trump, the deportations, they're going to continue no matter what. And for the record, Matt Towery will join us and explain in detail why the American people approve of this and why there is a transformational political shift in the country as it relates to, the Republican Party versus the Democratic Party. Democratic Party of coastal, woke elitists. They don't want tax cuts. Permanent tax cuts, they're against those. They're going to vote against them. Or no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. They're the party that doesn't want energy production in this country and the wealth. They don't want to control the border. They want open borders. Good luck with all these policies. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.